Let's get it started. This right here is another video I've been meaning to do for a long time now. This is not a rant on WWE. This is a rant on the WWE fanboys. Everywhere I go on YouTube or on any spoiler website or on any rant video where someone is criticizing something about the WWE doesn't like something about the WWE, hates the WWE, craps all over the WWE, you get these defenders, these apologists, these sheep constantly coming to the WWE's rescue telling us we have to like this. We have to respect this. We have to be patient. We don't have to do any of that. This is entertainment. This is not Martin Luther King. This is not Malcolm X. This is not Gandhi. This is not the U.S. troops. This is not the cancer the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This is not our parents. This is not adults and stuff. We do not have to respect the WWE, and we do not have to respect anyone in the WWE. If we say it sucks, it sucks. I am sick of apologists coming here constantly defending every little thing the WWE does. We do not defending WWE does. Prime example, I can't stand, I hate NXT, and I hate everything about the WWE's product. I do not have to justify, I do not have to condone, I do not have to put up with anything on the WWE's product. It's entertainment. I tune in to be entertained. And I also tune in to see some professional freaking wrestling. If I don't get that, then I'm not watching the product. I don't have to be patient for anything. I don't like NXT. And until they get rid of it or somehow make it better, which is impossible, I ain't watching. Until they make Raw and SmackDown actually feel like epic shows, I am not watching live. And I said in my previous WWE rants that in previous videos that I'm going to read the results online, and then watch the parts I like on YouTube. I don't even do that no more. I don't even watch it on YouTube. I don't even watch the parts I haven't watched WWE in 2 weeks, man. It's that terrible. Stephen Arnell was on Raw and he's wrestling at SummerSlam. Do I have to make fun of that? WWE, they suck. They in this day and age, they suck, and they desperately want to be mainstream. So they're trying to bring some celebrities to try to make it feel like they're mainstream. Always bragging about how they got more tweets or more likes on their Facebook page than the NFL. They wish they were as popular as the NFL. That they were still as popular as the NFL. Back in the Attitude Era, wrestling was so good, they actually forced the NFL to move to a new night. Now, they can they would be lucky to even get a footnote of the fraction of ratings NFL gets, man. So I'm just sick of that. I'm sick of them telling us we have to like and respect everything. WWE sucks. Nothing is good. I like several wrestlers. Nothing about the WWE is good. If you've seen the previous eras of WWE, the golden era, rockin' wrestling era, new generation era, my favorite era, the very popular Attitude Era, and even the most recent ruthless aggression era. You cannot watch this watered down, pussified, boring, bland PG garbage. Nothing about this is good. If you think this is good, more power to you. If you think this is good and you try to force it on someone else and try to defend it and say it is good, you are a sheep and don't know professional freaking wrestling. And okay, that's the next problem I have is these WWE fans constantly coming to TNA videos and any other independent wrestling video. It mostly happens to TNA, but it's on every wrestling video, not the WWE. You get these sheep trying to compare TNA, indie wrestling, and international wrestling to the standards of WWE constantly, because WWE is the biggest wrestling company, the largest wrestling company, and the most influential, and the most popular, they think that that makes them the best. When we were to look at all the promotions in the world, the WWE wouldn't even be in the top 1,000 wrestling companies. We would look up all the professional wrestling companies that ever exist and that ever existed. They wouldn't even be in the top thousands. What's his name? Especially not now. WWE today is some of the worst wrestling I've ever seen, man. I've ever seen. I don't know any product that is like worse than WWE now. That is like worse than WWE now. So every time when Lucha Underground during their season, when they were putting on good shows and getting all the praise, you had these WWE marks coming here trying to criticize Lucha Underground as cheesy and some spot fest garbage, and calling them like treating them like they're amateurs in comparison to the WWE, and constantly bringing up the WWE's millions of viewers, whereas Lucha Underground got a couple of thousands of viewers. Yet in the wrestling world, Lucha Underground was the talk of the town. That's another reason WWE sucks. The talk of, in the wrestling business right now, within the wrestling business, no one is really talking that much about WWE. The talk of the town, unless somebody dies, or something tragic happens, or is negative attention, and negative attention for mainstream exposure. That's the only kind of exposure they can get is negative attention. But going back to the talk of the town, is this stable in New Japan called the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club, and was most recently Lucha Underground. No one was talking about anything in WWE. Come to think of it, the Bullet Club was so hot that Vince McMahon tried to trademark this too sweet gesture, because the Bullet Club was something big that was not happening in WWE, which once again shows that WWE is not the best promotion in the world, despite being the biggest. I'm sick of those guys. Then you got these guys coming to TNA videos. Here's the problem I've always had with WWE Mars, or should I say TNA haters. TNA haters that are WWE fans. They don't even watch. They don't even care about TNA. Yet they come here with their BS criticisms, of aspects of TNA's products, criticizing them for unoriginality. When if we go look up all the storylines WWE stole from, they stole from ECW, WCW, the territories. All their ideas existed somewhere else, and they even stole from TNA. Who steals a storyline from TNA? Robbie E had the Jersey Shore gimmick before Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder has been on television longer than Robbie E, but he was not a Jersey Shore character until like late 2010 when they were doing the segments with him and Edge. He was a Rhode Island heel Guido character. That's what Zack Ryder was. The Shield storyline was a ripoff of the Aces and the early parts of the Shield storyline was a ripoff of the Aces and Eights storyline. They showed up in the black with the skull mask, in the all black, in the skull mask. Um, um, and other stuff too. So like I said, who steals a storyline from TNA? A company that I thought they've had good storylines. They just haven't had good consistency. But a company that is notorious for having awesome wrestling but poor storylines. That's what the reputation is for TNA. A lot of people often put over the matches and talent, but criticize the booking and stuff. So why would WWE, a company, steal from steal angles and stuff from TNA? So but yet WWE fans like to come to TNA videos and act like everything WWE do is original. So when one storyline is vastly similar to a WWE storyline, even if another company did it first, like the AJ Styles leaving with the belt, even though ROH did this several years ago and Ric Flair did this several years ago in WWE, they say it's stealing. They say it's stealing from WWE, WWE. That's another problem. That's one of the problems I have with TNA fans. Then I hate this because TNA listens to the comments of the fans. They read the comments and do try to improve several aspects of the product. So you, you they TNA fans, instead of listening to the people at the shows who go to the shows, they listen a lot to the people online. I'm even criticize actual TNA fans for this, but I'm gonna criticize WWE the WWE fans who are TNA haters and come to the videos. TNA changes the product, changes aspects of the product around for them, and they still like don't watch it. Don't watch it. Then they say crap like, "Oh, I wish TNA would." They say crap like TNA would die. They say crap like TNA would die. Or here's another one. They constantly complain about WWE. They constantly complain about WWE. Yet they do dumb stuff. They do dumb stuff like go to the show and hijack a show, even though like off the rope show said you're not doing any damage. You're not doing any damage. You're not doing any damage. If you go to the show to hijack it and boo Cena, you still paid to get in. They wore according to some fans, there were some anti-Cena shirts. They wore the anti-John Cena shirts. That's WWE merchandise. You're putting money into their pocket by buying the shirts. Then they say, the dumbest one, even dumber than this, they tune into the shows and they say, we're going to walk out on Cena matches. Even though you just tuned into the show. Then they criticize when they don't get changed and constantly criticize TNA when TNA tries to change up the product for them, and then they have the nerve to say, they want TNA to die because they don't want another promotion. They don't want another promotion to become bigger and challenge and threaten the WWE like the WCW did back in the day. They want TNA to die and for all the wrestlers to go to WWE to be watered down and buried. That's what they want. And instead of just admitting that, I would respect if you say I'm a WWE fan and I don't like TNA, but you constantly come here, start crap with TNA fans, say stuff like we want TNA to die, constantly come here with your BS criticisms when you don't even watch or care about the product. And they do this with other products too. They're always trashing indie, Japanese wrestling, Lucha Libre wrestling, when they don't watch like 12 seconds of this. Then Ring of Honor, since Ring of Honor is sort of like the developmental company for WWE. They pretend. I used to have a problem with Ring of Honor fans. Ring of Honor fans aren't bad. The real Ring of Honor fans really aren't bad. It's these poser Ring of Honor fans that are really WWE fans. They really don't care about Ring of Honor. They pretend to care about Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor is supplying all their talent. Ring of Honor is creating all this talent and supplying all their talent, but they don't watch or support them in Ring of Honor and on the indies. They wait till they come to WWE and pretend, we were huge fans of these guys. We were huge fans of these guys. And of course there were the Ring of Honor fans who constantly flame anyone who doesn't like Ring of Honor, and they're these wannabe hardcore Philly ECW fans who were a cult-like atmosphere, who rebelled against WWE and WCW, and they pretend, the Ring of Honor fans pretend to be them by constantly coming online and flaming anyone who doesn't like or says anything negative about Ring of Honor. But those opposer fans like Off the Rope Show and Mr. Parkin, the English, the British people here on YouTube did when they exposed them 3 years ago, back in 2012, when the pay-per-views when it's now time to walk the walk, and they only get like a couple of hundred buys. There had to be more than a couple of hundred buys for there had to be more than 100, or what was it, a couple of hundred or 1,000 buys. There'd be more Ring of Honor fans for that. So they don't even really support the product, and they didn't even watch when it was on Destination America, because their time slot just got cut in half. Their time slot just got cut in half. So yeah, there was this talk about Ring of Honor replacing TNA, replacing TNA when they could barely get viewers, that their time slot had to be cut in half. But like I said, those are poser Ring of Honor fans. Real Ring of Honor fans are actually pretty cool. Um, that's just another group of WWE fans I can't stand. They constantly treat WWE like they're the be all of professional wrestling. WWE is not the be all of professional wrestling. Wrestling was around long, professional wrestling and wrestling in general were around long before Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon took over. Vince McMahon took over. And if Vince McMahon were to die, and if WWE were to somehow or eventually go out of business, wrestling, it won't be as big or popular as it once was. And it's not popular now. It will still continue. Vince McMahon is not the be all of professional wrestling. At one time, the WWE was a small time company. And were part of the NWA and broke away and became something big in the 90s. In the 90s, Raw, they were in bingo halls. And small looking arenas, while WCW, Nitro had these these billion dollar hot arenas and stuff like that. Look at WWE today, boring arenas, man, with the exception of WrestleMania, bland, boring arenas and crappy production design. Um, so that's one thing I'm sick of. WWE fans constantly telling us what we have to like, constantly defending everything, being sheep, constantly pretending WWE can't do no wrong and are the be all professional wrestling. When right now, currently, they're the worst professional wrestling organization out there. They're living off of past eras. What's his name? They've done nothing really recently, and the biggest proof of this is that look what the main event of SummerSlam is. It's the Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. They had The Rock at WrestleMania, because no one has really cared about WrestleMania since like 20 and 21, and 28, 27 and 28 was the first time people cared about WrestleMania in a long time. I told you, just garbage, garbage. But the WWE fans, that's just another group of people I've had a problem with. Also, another problem I have with them is crapping on wrestlers because they don't go to WWE. Chris Sabin, okay, his title reign wasn't good. But I enjoyed it because I was happy TNA, even though it was a plot device for the Bellator fighters and the Aces and Eights storyline, I appreciated TNA for rewarding Chris Sabin for all his for his loyalty to the company and for his loyalty and hard work towards the company. Let me tell you, I've been watching TNA since 2003, and Chris Sabin when he was with Shelley was always praised. When Hogan took over in 2010, they criticized, and even before Hogan took over, people bashed TNA for constantly featuring old guys and not featuring guys like Chris Sabin and Eric Young. Years later, Chris Sabin and Eric Young get their push, and people crap on them. Let me show you the problem I have with people crapping on Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin, 2012, his contract was up, and instead of trying to go to WWE, he chose to stay loyal to TNA, and the fans crapped on him because of that. They even did the same to AJ Styles when he won the title before he left. They criticized him for they praised him when they thought he was about to go to WWE. They praised him. But as soon as he won the belt from Austin Aries, when he won the vacant TNA Heavyweight Championship from Austin Aries, they criticized him for poor mic skills, poor marketing, and all that other stuff, and accusing him of which he's done in the past, holding people down. They crap on wrestlers they crap on wrestlers who are not in WWE. They did the same with Booker T. They did the same with Booker T, Steiner, and Nash. When Kevin Nash and Booker T returned to WWE, they were instantly popular. But they crapped on them back when they were in TNA, and back when they were in TNA. They did the same with Sting. They crapped on him when he was in TNA. Then he comes back and jobs to Bray Wyatt in his first, no, jobs to Triple H, not Bray Wyatt, jobs to Triple H in his first match back, in his first match with the company. Then had JBL and Cole and them bury him on commentary, bury him in WCW on commentary, and yet then they're okay with it. They're okay with it. They're still watching and supporting the product. Told you, man. So Eric Young, they don't. These fans don't even care about Eric Young. These fans don't even care about Eric Young or TNA. Yet they're constantly crapping on him. They were constantly crapping on him when he was champion. When they don't even care to watch the TNA product, man. If TNA fans were complaining, I hated them. Some of them wanted him as champion. Some of them didn't. But at least they were TNA fans. Whereas you got WWE fans complaining about him, accusing him of being a ripoff of Daniel Bryan, a ripoff of Daniel Bryan, a ripoff of Daniel Bryan, when he is a wrestler who had been held down for most of his career, and finally grabbed the brass ring and became a heavyweight champion. And became a heavyweight champion. And speaking of brass rings, yeah, shitting on TNA's Hall of Fame, but pretending WWE's Hall of Fame is like the be all of Hall of Fames, when I don't even consider them a legit Hall of Fame. They have celebrities in the Hall of Fame, and that was more important than Macho Man, people like Macho Man, and that was more important than people like Macho Man. Sting had to sign over rights to his character and come to WWE for him to be in the Hall of Fame, for him to be in the Hall of Fame. He had to sign over rights to his character. He had the job to Triple H in his first match back, in his first match with the company, and got buried on commentary to finally be in the Hall of Fame. Man, I don't think Sting's in the Hall of Fame, but if he ever gets in the Hall of Fame, this is what he had to do. He couldn't like get like a Flair deal where, despite being contracted to TNA, have him show up on WWE programming, which TNA went out of mind. Nope, he had to come and job to Triple H in his match back and be buried on commentary. That's what I used to get so pissed off. I used to argue, constantly block people from this channel and get blocked from other channels for constantly giving to these TNA haters. But you know what? Like Off the Ropes show said, when he responded to American Al Ucard, who American Al Ucard is the biggest TNA defender on the internet right now. Is the biggest defender of TNA on the internet. He said, if you like and support TNA, you don't care that much. You don't care that much about the WWE, and you don't care that much about the TNA and WWE fans. WWE fans, because your old attention is supporting TNA and these other products, and that's what I'm gonna do from now on. But this is a video I had to make on those WWE fans, because they annoy the crap out of me. All right, Doug out.